Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to another episode of Last Week in BookTube. For not to sound too much like a TV commercial, but those of you who are new to the channel, this is a regular feature in which I talk about the stuff that I watched on BookTube in the previous week. Some of it, not nearly all of it. This is not meant to be comprehensive at all. It's just a list of highlights that I wanted to make sure you heard about and maybe watched if you feel so inclined. And I want to start off with a couple of slightly more general things. For instance, of course, I would be remiss, wouldn't I, in my position as managing editor of the journal in question, if I failed to point out that not one, not two, not three, but four booktubers are on the table of contents for Open Letters Monthly, the literary journal of which I am the managing editor. There's yours truly, of course, banging on about the Tudors, as always. But there's also Britta, writing about Zachary Mason's Void Star. Jess of Garden Scriptorium, writing about Ian Mortimer's Time Traveler's Guide to Restoration Britain. And Jennifer from Insert Literary Pun here, writing about Heather O'Neill's The Lonely Hearts Hotel, which is longlisted for the Baileys. And they all three do wonderful jobs. So I'm sure you already have Open Letters bookmarked, but now you have even more reason to go and read. But aside from that little egregious self plug, on BookTube itself, of course, was just absolutely rife with March wrap-ups and April TBRs. This is unavoidable when you have a monthly changeover. And also, there were quite a few videos about Vida, which, those of you who might not be familiar with it, it's a vlog every day in April. It's a sort of an ongoing challenge, like Vlogtober, where booktubers are sort of gently, informally, in a friendly way, challenged to make a video every day. I thought I'd make a Vida announcement myself. I think I'll be able to make a video every day. It's a challenge, what with my full-time job at the Box Factory, and my side channel for gaming, and my side channel for style, and my side channel for fitness. But I'll cut corners and tuck and paste here and there just to make Vida happen. And then a couple of little things. Read, Create, Repeat Homeschool is doing a series on her channel of books that made her life. And she did a recent one on books that have informed her faith. Very good stuff. Well worth watching. And Cam at Wolf Shop Publishing hit 1,000 subscribers. Richly deserved. So congratulations to him. Then I wanted to tell you about a bunch of reviews. There were a bunch of good reviews last week in BookTube. And since I'm a reviewer, they draw my attention. Let's see here. What have we got? The Wailing Warbler did an unexpected to me anyway, a review of the 2005 Sports Illustrated anthology of the great baseball writing, which is an anthology that I actually have, and I actually like it. And he did a great, tough review of it. DanMartinLikesYou reviewed Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. Bitten by a Radioactive Spider, Michael at Bitten by a Radioactive Book, reviewed Michael Eames' King of the Wyld, which is a Kings of the Wyld is making its rounds on BookTube, and his review was really good. A BookTube book did a review of Court of Thorns and Roses that I liked. Lil's Vintage World reviewed Amy License's book on Catherine of Aragon. Kind of expected that to be on my channel. I was very happy to see that. FinalBlowJoe did a review of Stephen Baxter's The Massacre of Mankind, which is an absolutely wonderful sequel to H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. I read it myself. I don't think I've shown it on this channel. I don't think it was. I think it might have been an accidental book opening that I did not film. But I loved it, and I will, I'm sure, show the finished copy on this channel. And Joe, the retired book nerd, did a review of John Steinbeck's In Dubious Battle in her ongoing quest to review every Steinbeck. And it was really good. Then we have a couple of other things, sort of unclassifiable things. For instance, April is National Poetry Month. I'm thinking about doing something every day on that myself. But one video I saw on that was really good was Natalie Knudsen, I don't know how you say her last name, but I'll leave a link to her channel and everybody else's channel down below. A very good introductory video about National Poetry Month. Julia Sapphire did a really good video on taking notes in books. She's extremely organized about it, and it was fascinating to watch that. It was fascinating to see, and it's the sort of thing that the nosy Parker in me wants to see from all of you. How do you actually interact physically with your books? And I'll make a video on that myself, on how I annotate my books. I think that's a lot of fun. We had a little bit of sad news, of course, in last week in BookTube. Will is leaving the Vintage Books vlog after, video after video after video that were all great. So I have no idea what's going to happen there. In the video in which he announces it, he encourages people, booktubers, to make their own vintage book blogs and send them to him. I don't think he ever in his video explicitly characterizes it as an audition process, but I'm wondering if Vintage will continue what they're doing when he moves over to Waterstones. And I'm also wondering, naturally, if he will do a vlog for Waterstones. I think that would be really nice. Problems of a Book Nerd did a video a lot like Julia Sapphire's, only a little bit broader, on, what did she call it? My reading process. And she included tips and tricks on the whole gamut of how she reads. And I thought it was fascinating. Again, I'm very tempted to do a video like that myself. If we're going to have a winner for BookTube, a video that if you don't watch anything else, you simply must watch it, although I strongly advise you to watch all of these things, it would be Olive from ABookOlive doing a drunk book review of Bill Shutt's wonderful book on cannibalism. I highly recommend the video, and also I highly recommend the book. It is not to be missed. And that's it. That is last week in BookTube, except for one thing you all seem to be in favor of. The idea I floated last time was maybe to make one recommendation that isn't BookTube, something that I watched and thought you might enjoy that isn't part of BookTube and that you maybe might have missed. And I have a suggestion this time around. It's a video in which the actor Ian McShane does dramatic readings of candle descriptions. And it's must see. I will leave the link down below. And that's it. That is last week in BookTube for the beginning of April. And I'll see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.